picking an ecosystem and saying, I'm going to bet my business, like imagine like Robinhood or PayPal saying like, hey, I'm going to bet my entire project on one chain, is just unacceptable, right? Activity comes and goes, ecosystems come and go, users come and go.
Yeah.
So you really want to be everywhere. And this is what, Axelar Stack allows to issue these coins.
Alrighty, everybody, what is going on? Welcome back to another CYPRX video breakdown. In today's video, we are going to be discussing and talking about Axelar network and how they are going to be the interoperability stack that allows tokenized assets to be accessible across all blockchains. So if you guys enjoy these types of deep dives, this type of intuitive research, do us a favor, smash that thumbs up button and subscribe. We're going to be jumping into some documents, some video clips, some panel discussions. So hopefully you guys enjoy. With that being said, sit back and relax. So in previous video breakdowns, I mentioned this post to you all where I said you should be paying attention to projects who have been building solutions, sitting in on closed door meetings, conducting proof of concepts with the largest organizations, connecting with other projects and networks, hosting spaces and attending events, complying with regulations, and helping support infrastructure for institutions. These will be the projects that will melt people's faces when the market is sitting at $6 to $10 trillion. Lock in. And Axelar network is one of the projects that fits each and every single one of these categories here. Just to show you guys some other upcoming events. By the way, if this is the first video breakdown that you've seen us cover on Axelar, I actually curated a fine-tuned playlist taking all of our Axelar video breakdowns and putting them in a playlist on the CYPRX YouTube. I will continue to do this moving forward with other assets that we cover on the CYPRX YouTube like HBAR, XDC, XRP, XLM, and I will create different playlists for each of them so you guys can better find content curated to specific digital assets that we cover here on the CYPRX YouTube. So make sure that if this is your first video breakdown that you're watching on the Axelar network and you have no idea what it is, go back and watch the Axelar playlist on the CYPRX YouTube. But over to this upcoming event that's happening on Thursday, March 20th. So here in just a couple of days, as of time of recording this video breakdown, it is the 12th of March. Bytes and Bucks, a DeFi day with TradFi DNA. Join us for an exclusive networking event co-sponsored by AWS, Amazon Web Services. Dive into the future of finance as Web 2 and Web 3 collide to usher in the new age of money through digital assets. We can see here their agenda, their DeFi spotlight, TradFi insights on the future of digital assets and networking. And some of the speakers include Sham Lim, APAC lead at Interop Labs, and the managing director at Zodia Custody, Stacy Ann Pearson. Now, if we come down here, it talks about Interop Labs. For those of you all who don't know, is a system and product development company dedicated to enabling an open interconnected web. And again, you might know them as the core contributor or developer of the Axelar network, a leading interoperability protocol. So I thought that we'd start there just to, again, continue down the rabbit hole, showing you all that Axelar network is heavily involved in some way, shape, or form with these events that are ongoing behind the scenes, even considering this most recent market downturn. They're building, they're connecting, they're growing, and they're helping build out the infrastructure for these financial institutions to onboard into this digital asset ecosystem. These are the type of projects that you want to be paying attention to. So I thought that I'd bring that to everybody's attention. Now let's dive deeply down this rabbit hole. We have some really good updated fundamental documents for you guys. As you all know, in a previous video breakdown, I covered this for you. So we're going to start here because this is going to take us down our rabbit hole today. Brian Brooks joins the Axelar Foundation's newly formed institutional advisory board. This is not anything breaking or new. I covered this in the previous video breakdown, but to solidify some of the things that it talks about here. Former Coinbase chief legal officer acting the comptroller of the currency cites decentralized blockchain interoperability as critical for expanding the US dollar access via stablecoins. And then he goes on to say, Brooks said the interoperability stack can only scale when its foundations are secure, decentralized, and open source so anyone can integrate around them. As the most advanced interoperability platform, the Axelar network is uniquely suited to interconnect Web3 and traditional finance. Then it goes on to talk about, with regulatory clarity on the horizon, financial institutions have made the business case for stablecoins. That's going to be important because we're going to play a video clip. The co-founder and CEO of Interop Labs, talk about this in particular, stablecoins and how they're integrating, how Axelar is integrating and creating an interoperable stack for stablecoins to operate seamlessly across chains. We'll get into that in just one second. And other tokenized real world assets on blockchains as they prepare, innovate globally available financial products. Their need to interconnect multiple public and private blockchains has been documented by Axelar Foundation and Metrika, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, in a white paper labeled Institutional Interoperability with insights from Citi, Deutsche Bank, MasterCard, and Northern Trust. We'll come back to that, all right? So I highlighted that as well. But first, considering that they mentioned stablecoins in this, okay, if we come over here, I shared this post with you guys where I said the time is now. Dante A, I'm not going to butcher his last name, is the Chief Strategy Officer and Global Head of Policy and Operations for Circle. Okay. And I posted this little tiny clip for you guys in a fundamental piece that came out from the Daily Upside, where Dante said here, crypto will not just be on the edge of modern finance, it will be at the core, and no asset more central to this core than today's form of regulated digital dollars, i.e. stablecoins, is serving as the digital cash of the internet age. Gone are the days where countries can afford to hurry up and wait for crypto to disappear. This is a massive statement coming from an individual that works directly with regulated entities in a regulated environment. All right. Again, crypto is not going away. And I thought that that was relevant considering that we're going to hear the co-founder of Axelar talk about stablecoins in just one second. And they also mentioned stablecoins here in this report, where they say financial institutions have made the business case for stablecoins and other tokenized real world assets. Moving on, before we come back to this institutional interoperability PDF or white paper from Deutsche Bank, MasterCard, and Northern Trust in collaboration with Axelar Network, I want to take your attention to this fundamental piece right here. This is from KPMG. This is from February 2025. So it is relevant. It is recent. And if we come over here to some key highlights of this, I just want to take your attention to two little tiny snippets. It says, in light of the present technological paradigm shift, it is vital that Germany and the European Union continue to actively engage with the digital asset ecosystem in order to sharpen their competitive edge and reinforce their clout in increasingly digital worlds. Then you can see right down here, Deutsche Bank is mentioned in this. I played previous video breakdowns showing you guys how Deutsche Bank collaborated with the Axelar Network and Project Guardian.
DAMA 2, a transformative, multi-chain digital fund servicing solution to unlock new fund innovations and distribution at scale. Deutsche Bank, driving innovation as part of the Monetary Authority of Singapore's Project Guardian, collaborates with Memento Blockchain and Interop Labs on the minimal viable product. Memento Blockchain, using ZK Sync's cutting-edge zero-knowledge technology, has created Memento ZK Chain, a powerful, secure, and scalable blockchain. With features like soul-bound token for investor management and fund compliance, Paymaster to simplify gas fee payments using traditional payment rails, custom-built Explorer for managed transaction privacy and regulatory oversight, and built-in smart contracts to service digital fund life cycles with a central view into asset servicing books of records across chains. The future of digital fund management and asset servicing is here. Leveraging on Axelar Network's industry-leading cross-chain interoperability technology, Memento ZK Chain can connect to over 60 blockchain ecosystems, offering scalability and flexibility for global integration.
And then this fundamental piece goes on to say, interoperability between different DLT systems is crucial for Europe's ability to compete in the global financial market going forward. That is a massive statement right there, and just solidifies exactly what they said in that piece, where they talk about how interoperability across all blockchains is crucial. So now let's go back over. And if we come down here to this Brian Brooks fundamental piece that came out, where they announced Brian Brooks joining the Axelar Foundation, and you see them mention this white paper labeled Institutional Interoperability, keeping in mind what I just mentioned to you guys from that KPMG document. All right, we're going to come over here and we're going to thoroughly read through this fundamental piece, institutional interoperability. All right. And you can see right down here, it mentions Deutsche Bank collaborated with this, Citi, MasterCard, Northern Trust, and then Axelar is right down there at the bottom. So just reading one key highlight from this. Okay. This is going to freaking blow your mind. Pay attention to key vocabulary. This is what we like to do here at CYPRX. They tell you this stuff in detail right in front of your eyes, but not a lot of people have the time to put this stuff together for you all. So we are doing that here for you. Check this out. It says, in order to achieve tokenization's goal of improved liquidity and accessibility, it will be essential to find a way to get these various blockchains to work together. That's going to play an important role when we play the video clips from the co-founder of Axelar here in just 1 second. This is also known as blockchain interoperability. A lack of such interoperability will limit the liquidity and accessibility of new investment products issued on blockchains. Insufficient interoperability limits investors' ability to pool assets together and curtails trading across multiple venues, resulting in a reduced network effect and hampers innovation. According to the Monetary Authority of Singapore, there are various ways to address this problem. The path proposed by the MAS is an interlinked network model, which refers to the exchange of digital assets and currencies across networks and borders. Each blockchain is a network with its own rules for internally verifying information. These networks would need to be connected across network protocols that delivered verified messages and securely transfers assets between various independent blockchains. Given the abundance of blockchain networks and use cases, the MAS recommends that existing systems should be integrated with any public or private network. Keep in mind, this is coming from the MAS, the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Do you guys remember the fundamental piece that Brian Brooks was a part of here? It talks about how XLR network is the most advanced interoperability platform and has the ability to connect all blockchains. But back to the key vocabulary, I highlighted 2 key words here: verified and securely. It says these networks would need to be connected by cross-network protocols that deliver verified messages and securely transfers assets between various independent blockchains. If we come over here to the most recent fundamental breakdown from February 25th, 2025, at the same exact time that the KPMG document was put out that I just showed you guys, right? February 2025. And we scroll right down here and we take a look at the XLR Cobalt upgrade live now. Look at the key vocabulary words that they put right in front of your eyes. The Cobalt upgrade is live, sending XLR transaction fees to a burn address, strengthening tokenomics. Instead of incentivized inflation, newly connected blockchains contribute to XLR into a reward pool used to compensate verifiers that secure each new blockchain connection. There are the keywords right there: verified and securely. You cannot make this stuff up. It is identical to what the Monetary Authority of Singapore said needs to happen, right? Verified and securely. Boom, right there. And if we come over here, verified and securely. To continue, it says the XLR network has completed the upgrade v1.2.1 following token holder approval in an on-chain governance vote. The upgrade, codenamed Cobalt, implements new XLR tokenomics, sending network gas fees to a burn address. New blockchains are already connecting via interchain amplifier, which expands XLR's utility as new integration pulls XLR from existing supply to reward verifiers. The combination results in tokenomics and token utility designed to scale the XLR network to an infinite number of blockchain connections. Now, XLR is an engine for permissionless new connections at global scale. And XLR utility grows with each new blockchain connected. So they're literally telling you all in the documents what needs to take place, and the new Cobalt upgrade provides exactly that. So again, just piecing all this stuff together for you all, paying attention to key vocabulary. Now let's take into consideration what Sergey, the CEO of Interop Labs and the co-founder of XLR, has to say here in this interview that he did with Arrington Capital. I'm going to play about a 3-minute long video clip. Just listen to what he talks about and says here, considering all the information that I've shown you all thus far.
Tie in directly there. I actually don't know how that looks from a wallet to the chain to the asset to Axelar. Where do those points happen when you come to wallet integrations?
Okay, great question. So there are multiple points, but let me give you like one simple example. So back to your other question. So one of the products or one of the services you can build on top of Axelar interoperability stack are tokens that live on all chains at the same time. Right. So, it's called interchain token service. Imagine you have a stable coin. Instead of having it launch on one chain and then figuring out like the bridging, you can go through our stack to launch that coin on 70 plus chains. And then it's all interconnected. It has the same address, it has the same format, and you can send it back and forth seamlessly. Right. Now, when we talk about send it back and forth seamlessly, that's where the wallets could come in. And so as a wallet, if you integrate on top of these tokens or our SDK, then you can say, okay, the user has 10 coins on Solana, 10 coins on Ethereum. If they want to deposit 20 in an application on, I don't know, Stellar as an example, the wallet can do seamless backend operations to aggregate 10 plus 10 from different chains and send one transaction to deposit 20 in the in the final application that the user cares about, right? So sort of aggregation from the tokens, making sure they're flowing as one unified liquidity to get to the user's action is where the intersection would come in for the token use case. And this is where the wallet still need to do a little bit of work on.
Makes sense. Can we talk about stablecoins on Axelar, what you see happening there? Stablecoin institutions are getting ready for these RWAs that can be spun up. How does that work? What does it matter for regulatory compliance? Connecting to private blockchains, public blockchains? How's Axelar fitting into that?
Yes, I think you probably know, but there is an actively ongoing discussion around stablecoin bill in Washington, right? And so we expect that to hit the public over the coming months. Everybody is very excited about it. So what that framework does, it allows people to really understand how to interact with a stablecoin, what security around stablecoin means, how to issue stablecoin. And so all that work that, early pioneers like, Circle had to do over the years without regulatory framework now would be very, very crystal clear. And so in the market, we're seeing just a flood of new stablecoin issuance being done by small and large projects. Right? There are effectively two ways to think about stablecoins, but the simplest one is that it's a settlement system and an asset that allows you to save on processing fees from legacy infrastructure like Swift or banking systems. Right? You see projects being announced by PayPal, by Robinhood, by Visa, by Ripple, and some of our partners. They're all talking about, either partnering with stablecoin issuers or launching their own stablecoins themselves and then using that stablecoin for backend settlement. Now, every time the stablecoin is issued, we talk with most of them. They're not asking us which chain to pick. They're saying, could you support 100 chains for me? Because I don't want to be on one chain. I want to be everywhere, right? And being everywhere means tapping into all the users across all the chains, aggregating all the wallets in some sense in one interface, and really managing the unified liquidity and unified experience for your users and, not being left out. For a lot of these projects, picking an ecosystem and saying, I'm going to bet my business, like imagine like Robinhood or PayPal saying like, hey, I'm going to bet my entire project on one chain is just unacceptable, right? Activity comes and goes, ecosystems come and go, users come and go.
Yeah.
So you really want to be everywhere. And this is what, Axelar Stack allows to issue these coins.
These large organizations, these chains, these networks, they're going to want to be interoperable with every single blockchain out there. And Axelar provides that interoperability layer. As always, ladies and gentlemen, bringing you guys the realest research. Make sure that you all are paying attention. A video breakdown like this only has 100 views. Nobody's paying attention to this information. People are getting fearful. They're not really understanding what is happening, what's being built out behind the scenes. I encourage you guys to take it upon yourself to do this type of research, piece these interconnected webs together, and pick apart documents and watch these panel discussions. Right now is not the time to be fearful. Now is the time to be paying attention to organizations and projects that are helping build out the infrastructure to onboard traditional financial players into the digital asset ecosystem, and Axelar is 110% one of them. As always, none of this is financial advice. Make sure that you guys are conducting your own personal research. If you guys want to know where to find all this research at, keep in mind you always have access to the private CYPRX Discord, where all of these documents, fundamentals, video breakdowns, panel discussions, all these upcoming events that are taking place are all shared in our private CYPRX Discord in one centralized location, so you guys can conduct this research yourselves. If you want to tap into our private community, head over to CYPRXtrading.com. We'd love to have you on the team. As always, be cognizant, be aware out there, make sure that you're doing research, and I'll see you guys in the next video breakdown.